Welcome to the show, Sarah. What would you like to talk about tonight?
Hello, Larry. Tonight I would like to talk to you about white genocide. There is something that is going on, only in white countries, and in every white country around the world. Each and every white homeland is being flooded with tens of millions of non-whites.
What about the slave trade?
Whites have had destructive social engineering such as feminism, metrosexual culture, and also demonization and guilt trips pushed onto them. They have been systematically brainwashed to be ashamed of their ancestors, and that having any pride or love for themselves or their own people is bad.
American Indians.
Huh? As a percentage of world inhabitants, the white population will plummet to a single digit, 9.76, by 2060 from a high water mark of 27.98 in 1950.
World War II Holocaust of the Jews.
Larry, are you going senile? Why do you keep bringing up grandmother topics when I am discussing something else?
Well, whites have done a lot of horrible things like those I named, so this is just karma.
Oh, so now the truth comes out and you show your true colors now? You are trying to use past crimes that may or may not have happened as our mainstream history books depict, to justify genocide.
I hate racism. We need whites to assimilate with other races so they will stop being so racist. If they have a black granddaughter and a Mexican cousin that will teach them not to be racist, they need to be taught a lesson.
Larry, anti-racism is just a code word for anti-white. What you are talking about is genocide. Is that really what you support? Nobody is flooding Korea with tens of millions of non-Koreans and telling them they must assimilate with them in order to end Korean racism. Actually, no non-white countries are being targeted like this.
Well, if a black and a white want to produce children, that is free will and you can't stop it.
It is not free will. When they have been socially engineered to do it, there is a lot of money and planning behind all this. Multiculturalism. Women have had feminism pushed on them so they act more manly, while they have tried to make men more feminine by pushing metrosexual and emo culture on them. And then our countries flooded with non-whites who have not went through these programs, so the men still act like men and the women still act like women. It is all designed to cause harm to the group, and is illegal.
Well, they are just immigrating so they can have the better life. Europeans have nicer and richer countries, so that is why they come there. Africa is poor, so that is why nobody wants to immigrate there.
Do I have the right to move into my neighbor's mansion just because it is nicer than my house? He worked to acquire that, just as my European ancestors did what was required to get this country to the level it is at now. Why shouldn't we be allowed to enjoy that and continue to advance our civilization? You are just trying to find a way to justify genocide. They need to stay in their own countries and build them into something they want to live in. We cannot allow the entire third world to immigrate to European countries.
No, it's not genocide. Genocide is killing people, and who cares if there are no more whites anyways? You will be old and dead by the time that happens.
Wow, Larry, you really disappoint me. Genocide is not always violent according to the 1948 UN resolution. It doesn't matter what your personal understanding of it is. The only thing that matters is the legal definition.
The only reason you are concerned about white survival is because you are a racist. There is only one race, the human race.
Science proves otherwise. Why don't you ask Saddam if race is a social construct? Nobody is flooding Japan with tens of millions of non-Japanese, forcing them to give special rights and privileges to them. And then when they complain, calling them a Japan supremacist or Asian KKK member, only white countries are being targeted, and only white countries.
What about what happened to the American Indians?
What about it? Neither of us have a time machine, so none of us can do anything about it. The 1948 UN resolution did not exist then. We can only change what is currently going on in order to change the future. So to wrap things up, Larry, what you need to ask yourself is, are you pro-white or pro-white genocide? There's no wiggle room.